So we are officially in the 4th edition of ARIA's Aspire Summit 2025. What makes it so special? I'm not going to tell you this. I will invite on stage Mr. Lovaii Navlakhi, the chairperson of ARIA, to talk you through what makes this an exciting summit for 2025 and what's in store for everyone attending it. Give it up for Mr. Lovaii Navlakhi.
If you saw the agenda, my talk was before Mr. Anant Narayan, but Karunya knew that I was not prepared, so she flipped the schedule. Since we have just spoken about regulation, I'm thinking of a law which I got exposed to during my MBA days. It was called Murphy's Law. And one of the things I do remember from there is that the sum total of intelligence in the world is constant. The population is increasing, right? And the only difference I think in this hall as opposed to the world is there is infinite intelligence and there are limited number of people. So one of the big objectives of this conference is that not only we hear speakers and we imbibe some of the things that we can take away, but also I think you spend time with one another so that you are interacting and understanding what is it that you can implement. I think if I look back, and I'm going to make it really short because we are behind schedule. A few days ago I went to Srinagar for a holiday, and at that point in time when we were returning from Srinagar, the plane to Delhi left southward and then took a right turn, flew around and then took another turn and came back, and I was on the left side of the aircraft. So I could see the range which was Gulmarg, I could see the range which was Leh Ladakh. And the thought struck me that the person on the right hand side of the plane was seeing something totally different. And I think that what has happened with ARIA, regulator, investor, client over the years, is that there has been this openness to sit together and to try and see the other point of view. So I think while in the last couple of years for sure, we know that the regulator has been really open to listening to us. In some way I'm grateful that I am not based in Mumbai. The Mumbai board members are pretty much invited, saying tomorrow morning 11 o'clock we need you, somebody to be there, and they turn up. So I think by seeing the other point of view is where we have gone to the stage where a lot of our asks, many of our asks which were there, if you recall, those of you who were members in 23, in the conversation that Harsh had with the previous chairperson, almost everything that we asked for has taken shape in the regulation that came out in December and January. And we realized that as we move forward and newer models come in, newer situations come in, newer members come in, we need to continuously engage. So I would also request the members to think about this when they sort of try and react to situations. I know they are very painful when it happens and you find somebody else who is not taken the IA license doing things which are going to affect you. But if you can document these, and as Mr. Anant Narayan said, there is a continuous dialogue happening with ARIA. We are happy to take that forward. The only thing I will say about this organization, and I know I'm going to get a chance to speak again in the afternoon, so maybe some of these points can move there, is that this organization is pretty much a volunteer-led organization. And what it means is that while we run our own businesses, run our own lives, we also need to make sure that whatever is required for the community and the association is being taken care of. When we decided as a board that the chairperson of the board will be the chair of the summit this year. But my style is a lot of delegation. I happened to miss one of the meetings when we were deciding the workshops. And the next meeting, the members told me, I don't know whether you're aware, but you're conducting 2 workshops. So I think this is the danger of being a volunteer-led organization. If you're not there, somebody volunteers for you. So I would strongly recommend, and you will see in the afternoon the various things that ARIA has been doing, that each one of you as an ARIA member find some time and space to contribute. And I can tell you for one that while I do sometimes think that I'm spending far too much time on ARIA as opposed to the organization, I think the learning that I get by interacting with stalwarts on the board, as well as situations that we come across when we are talking to SEBI or we are in certain subcommittees of SEBI and BSE, is just enormous, because you're getting a really very, very wide 360-degree view perspective. So I think that's important as well. One thing I must acknowledge today is the contribution and the support we've had of the partners. And while I think many people would refer to the partners as sponsors, we genuinely look at them as partners. We don't allow them to make speeches over here except for the panel that's going to follow. But I think we need the support from the industry because it is a fledgling industry. We did think that with the change in regulation that happened in December and Jan, this would be suddenly a large chunk of people would have moved into RIA. But obviously it will happen slowly. People will try and understand. And while we will, so you look at this conference that we have for today as not just one day, but 2 days, because we do realize we want people to interact and we want to do deep dive in certain topics which some of the committee members thought were relevant for the audience to attend. I think that I must also at this point acknowledge the team that has put together this conference. They've really done a super job, and there are times where each one of us, including me, had our own sort of priorities or work that we had to, put time aside for away from working on the conference, and everybody has pulled through. Like I told them in the message this morning, that this is a ghar wale ka conference, sab ghar wale hi hai. So don't worry about what your show is. I'm sure they'll be a little kind. So I do hope you're a little kind, and really make sure that you pick at least 1 or 2 takeaways from today's day's event, from the sessions, and maybe 5 things that you take away from interacting with one another. So welcome once again everyone here, and look forward to a very engaging and interactive day with all of you. Thank you.